Hey, Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
First off, we would like to say, Kal Halal,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash.
Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Also would like to say peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the Akim that's pushing his word in all sincerity and faith. For the few sisters that watch and believe, Shalom to you as well.
Shalom.
Just impromptu, all through the spirit. Me and the brother had the opportunity to break bread. We're going to come with a quick show. I just wanted to go into knowing what type of counsel to seek, because within the body, within the variations of gifts that the Most High bestows to different men, brothers, whenever you need advice, whenever you need counsel, you have to know where to go. You can't get everything from the same individual, so to speak, if that makes sense. You have to know who you're going to for advice. And of course, collectively as a nation of people, our people run the Esau. They take his word as being scripture, so to speak, when everything concerning the diet, in determining what's right and what's wrong, so on and so forth. But more so for brothers in the body, brothers is pushing his word in the faith. Whenever we need advice, when we're going through certain situations within our walk of faith, you have to know what type of counsel to seek. That's the point being made. So just the whole idea of seeking counsel, that shows wisdom, because we can't lean on our own understanding, because our minds are just drawn by the certain appetites within our own spirit. So it's always good. That's why iron sharpens iron, to depend on brothers to guide your steps through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, of course. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get the scriptures.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?"
That's right. So heart, when you go into the Hebrew, it's the word la'ab, which means your mind. So it says your mind or your heart, not your heart that physically pumps blood, but your mind is just deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So you can't really depend on your own thoughts. Now, the Most High gives us a mind to be able to get information, to be able to understand, to comprehend things. But it's a different level when you talk about discerning and making judgments. A lot of times, to make a judgment or to make a major decision, you're going to need counsel, because you can't even trust your own thoughts. You have to get an outside perspective, and that's what a wise man would do. Go ahead.
Just a quick precept to go into it. This is Sirach chapter 3, verse 24. It says, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment."
That's right. And that's most of our people right now. That's why they're doing the things that they're doing. They're deceived by their own vain opinion. They're only into doing what feels good at that immediate time, but they're not looking at how it's going to affect you on the back end.
That's right.
Seeking advice to where somebody on the outside looking in, he can be like, "Hey, you're not doing that the right way. This is the way you need to go." Because sometimes you can get caught in your own mind and really not see the big picture. A lot of times you're blinded by your own thoughts.
That's right.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, just laying back and off of you. Let's say you got something going on as the priest was going into, and you might ask a certain particular person, and their response might cater to your own desires on what you thought.
Exactly.
Versus when it comes to the actual right judgment, as you were saying, might need to be from somebody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we tend to go to the person that we might be close to or whatever, and even though the person's closer to you, they're going to give you things to the best of their ability, but they might not be groomed within that particular thing that you're going through.
Exactly. They'll be the person that allow you justification to do what you already had your mind set out to do anyway.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. They'll give you that scapegoat, that they'll validate you. That ain't, you ain't going off, or you ain't a bad person if you want to do this, that, and the third.
Right.
But maybe another brother, he may have been through the actual experience of the thing that you need advice in, and he can tell you something that you might not want to hear. He might give you advice that you might not particularly want to receive, but that may be the advice that you very well need. That's what I'm going into this lesson. You have to know what counsel to seek.
That's right, brother.
And not to seeking counsel to just justify you quenching the thoughts and lust within your own belly. Was it more to your precept? Okay, we can just go right to Sirach 37.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 37. I'm going to start at verse 17, right?
Or start at 8. 37 and 8.
37 and 8. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 8. It says, I'll start at 7. It says, "Every counselor extolleth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself."
That's right. And that's a man that's going to really fall into peril and destruction when you're counseling for yourself.
That's right.
You only caught up in what's in your own mind. You're not in tune to everything that's going on. You're not open to receiving different perspectives to where you can make the right judgments. You can make the right decisions, man.
That's right. That's right. And that ties right into that Jeremiah 17 we just read, man. You know, because it talks about how your heart is desperately wicked. You could have your mind set on one certain thing and you counsel for yourself. And that'll pretty much give you liberty to fulfill whatever you had in your mind. And you'll feel like it's justified whether the case is, man.
Okay.
You know, hey, the scriptures talk about, you know, better there's two than one. You know, because it talks about one, if two or more is in the midst, if two or more comes in my name, I should be in the midst of thee. So he's going to give you the proper judgment that you need to make, especially if it's somebody else that's you're talking about it with, that pretty much is seasoned within that thing that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? If that made sense.
That's right. That's right.
This is verse 38. Beware of
verse 8. Verse 8.
I'm sorry.
Call it, yeah.
Sirach 38, verse 8. Beware
37, verse 8.
37, verse 8. Shalakia.
No, you good.
Beware of a counselor and know before what need he hath. For he will counsel for himself, lest he cast a lot upon thee.
That's right. So you got to beware of where you're going to get counsel, man. And know before you go get the counsel or the advice of what needs you need the direction in, man. And that takes knowing yourself. The scripture says in 2 Corinthians 13:5, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. So if it's a situation where you unclear in your mind about what to do, you knowing yourself, you got to know what type of counsel to seek.
That's right.
Somebody that's going to maybe not tell you what you want to hear, that's going to be beneficial to what you want to fulfill, but it might be the right advice for the decision that you need to make, for the course that you need to go. You know?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Sirach 37:9. And say unto thee, thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee.
That's right. And say thy way is good, man, because that could be a situation with a person that you're going to, they don't really want to feel, they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't want to, they're being a respecter of person.
That's
so
right.
you have to have the wherewithal to see within spirits what person going to give you what you need versus somebody just going to stroke your ego. Nah, it's cool.
That's a great point.
And then at the end of the day, really that brother, he's not really considering your soul, especially if it's something that could potentially put you in danger of going off against the Heavenly Father, you know? You want to add something?
I mean, no, you pretty much hit the points, bro.
Let me see where I wanted to stop off on that. See.
Yeah, while you're looking, I did have a quick precept.
Hold on. There was something else I wanted to get.
Okay.
Yes, read. That's pretty much on that. Let's get Jeremiah or Proverbs the 3rd chapter.
That's a bad. No, it's all good.
I thought it was something else I wanted to get out of that chapter. It just escaped me right now. But we'll just move on for time's sake.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Man, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not into thy own understanding. And that takes having faith, which we was going into last night on the street speaking. You know, the majority of this world, and then, of course, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they have a lack of faith. They have a lack of belief. You know what I'm saying? We can't let their incredulity stop us from doing what we're supposed to do, seeking godly counsel. You know, doing the things that are pleasing to the Most High. You know, that's all a part of trusting in the Lord. You know, and not leaning into our own understanding, because we know that our understanding is all carnality, which carnality, that's going to lead to sin, and the wages of sin is death, and we're trying to live.
That's right.
So it's important to trust in the Lord with all your heart. You can't lean on your own understanding.
That's right.
You may think you have it under control. Like if you have a certain problem with something, you're doing too much of something, you might think you have it all under control. But in the grand scheme of things, you're doing things that are detrimental to your soul.
That's right.
So you might have to seek out the counsel, and within seeking out the counsel, you have to know what counsel to seek. Someone that's going to actually help you reach a spiritual solution. Not stroking your ego and allowing you to get more caught up in that lust or whatever that thing is that fulfills your belly.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was.
That's a little more. That's a little more that goes into it.
Ahead.
Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Verse 7, be not wise in thine own eyes.
Yup.
fear Yahweh and depart from evil.
Yo, be not wise in thine own eyes, man. And that's what Jake is as a whole, man. Jake has that I got it mentality, man.
Don't want to hear no type of counsel.
They don't want to hear no type of counsel. And that's why this is the most reprobate, degenerate generation that can ever come to exist, man. That's why, like it talks about in Matthew the 24th chapter, the Lord's going to have to shorten the days because you just got a group of brute beasts. You tell Jake, hey, man, you should pull your pants up, bro. He get an attitude. He might want to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with our nation as a whole. No one wants to accept correction, especially the women of our nation, man. Correcting a woman? And right now, this is a hyper-feminist society to where how dare you correct a woman? You know, she could be completely in the error, but you even perceive to come with any criticism, then you being bashed on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, it's over feminized, and also too it's hella narcissistic. Because even when you go into feminization and looking at how females act, they're very into themselves.
Yep.
So since everybody that we see out here is starting with you Jakes, you know, saying that y'all are into yourselves, when somebody really tells you something about you and it's really meant to heal you, you know, you take it and you destroy it, and you're willing to either destroy the person, you're either willing to chastise that person that's really trying to give you correction, man.
That's right.
This is a generation that's wise in their own hearts. Hey, that's why it's written in the book of Jeremiah, you know, it says they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you got somebody that's giving you wise counsel, that's going to steer you to do good. But once you direct that counsel, because ultimately the counsel is coming from the Lord, you know, you're pretty much being wise in your own deceits. And what are you doing? You're attracting more evil around you, man. Because in your mind, you think what you're doing is good, and can't nobody justify you with it. And you can even blame that on the so-called white man.
That's right.
Because he's in a power seat right now, and he's considered the wise of the world.
That's right.
This is the same man that's created the Hubble Space Telescope, all the technology that you see. You know what I'm saying? And that energy's been kicked of them thinking that they're gods. You know, that mindset has got on to Jake, man.
That's right.
You know, because they give you Jakes a platform. Give you Jakes a platform to juck and jive, do certain things. And within doing that, there's really set for you to destroy you. But you look at it and think, oh, I got this platform, so I should be heard. You know? So since you're on that platform, you think you should be heard. You don't want to hear the counsel of the wise, counsel from the wise, man.
That's right.
You know? Hey, man, that's why the scriptures say I've used the foolish to confound the wise. We know the wise talking about you Edomites, but that even goes into you niggas that think y'all are wise too, man.
Yep, wise to do evil.
Wise to do evil.
Yep.
Exactly.
You got that. You got that figured out with precision, accuracy, man. How to commit adultery, how to scheme, get over on your brother. Jake got that figured out. They're wise in their own mind when it comes to that, but not wise to hearken into the counsel of the men of the Most High. When we're just giving you the word out the Most High, now Jake really gets offended because it's people that look like them coming through the spirit of the Lord saying, hey, there's certain things that you can and can't do. You need to get on board. And that's not to say that we exempt from the things that we talk about or we'll be hypocrites. Right. We men in the flesh, we got things that we struggle with. But hey, the scriptures talk about offending less. We don't sin willfully, you know. And then when we fall off, when we go off, we repent to the Lord, pray, and try to grow strong in the faith, man. That's but Jake don't even consider. They think they already got it, man. Yeah. They think they already have a personal relationship with sweet Jesus, you know. But all of that mindset in error, that's going to lead to your destruction.
Gone.
Yeah, the precept?
Yeah, this is just a quick one.
Go ahead, yeah.
It says, Galatians 6:3, for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. You know, and that pretty much speaks for itself. If you think you somebody, if you think you wise already, if you think you just got it, you're already deceiving yourself, man, because you feel like you got it, you can't receive nothing else. You already feel like you complete. You know, when somebody's adding to you something, if somebody's adding to you good things, letting you know something that's going to benefit your life, and you already disregard it because you think you got it. Hey, those are steps to pride, man. And the scriptures talk about how pride goes before destruction.
That's right.
You know, so you don't want to hear what the counselors have to say. By your own pride, that's going to lead you astray to a path of destruction, to a path of death. Because lo and behold, life is being given unto you, and you don't want to receive it, man.
Exactly.
Now we understand that most of these things that were spoken of within the past few precepts goes to a lot of these people in the world, but also too, how much more do we have to look at this being men of the Lord? That's right. Hopeful elect. That's because we don't want to have that mind state where, you know, Jake tries to tell you something and you think you just got it, so you don't want to hear it, whether it's a younger brother or older brother in the faith. You don't never want to close the breaches off of understanding because we're growing through the spirit to become more wise, man.
That's right.
You know, it says, I have planted you, but the Lord giveth the increase.
Exactly.
You know, now we understand that he can do anything he wants to, but a lot of ways he can get the increase just comes from the men that he has set up around you. That's going to give you that counsel because these men are influenced by the Holy Spirit, just like you are, man.
That's right.
So who the hell are you to want to disregard something that a brother has to say when it's really meant to benefit you, man?
That's right.
We're a body at the end of the day. All right? That was all I had to say.
Yo, because being wise in your own mind, that's a direct, that's synonymous with being prideful.
That's right.
And pride is blinding. You don't even see it within you, man, because you wise in your own mind, man.
That's
You're
right.
not open to receive correction, to get things right, to really truly grow within the spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
I think that was it on that. We can just jump to Romans, the 12th chapter.
Oh, yeah, that's
the
right.
16th verse.
Romans 12:16.
And that's all I had. You know?
Listen. Yeah. This is Romans 12:16. All right. And it says, be of the same mind one towards another. Mind not high things, but consent to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits.
Yo, can you read it again, Bob?
Come on. It's all good. Romans 12:17.
Read 16 again, Bob.
I'm sorry, 12:16. Okay. Be of the same mind one towards another. Mind not high things, but consent to the men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits.
So it said a lot there. So I'm going to just break it down. It says, be of the same mind one towards another. And that's through that commonality of our faith in Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua. That's the common denominator that basically bridges us all together in the building process of the house of David. Now, we understand, like it talks about in Philippians, each man has to work out his salvation, you know, with fear and trembling. But at the same time, within working out our own salvation, we have to be on the same mind. Two can't walk together except they be agreed.
That's
so
right.
In order to strive to perfect that agreement, that means you're going to have to be open to receiving counsel. And then when you're seeking counsel, you got to know what counsel to seek.
That's right.
There's rules to this thing, man. You know, and it says, mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate, meaning within brothers of the body. Because we represent the meek. Just as our greatest example today, Yahushua, he came in a low estate. You know, let this mind be in you that was in Hamashiach.
That's right.
So we have to come to brothers of low estate, you know, for counsel. Because brothers going through all types of different hell, brothers going through all types of trials and experiences. So there's just a wealth of knowledge and counsel within the body. But you just got to know where to get certain things based on whatever particular situation you're dealing with through the spirit. And then last but not least, it says, be not wise in your own conceits, because that's pride at the end of the day, being wise in your own conceits. Matter of fact, what's that word mean? I don't have my phone right now.
I can look it up
real quick.
And while I'm looking it up, you even have that word conceited.
Being pompous.
Yeah, being pompous
arrogant.
and full of yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know, so being wise in your own conceits pretty much goes hand in hand with itself, you know.
Yeah.
But just for edification.
Just for edification, because I want to just pull out as much as I can.
Con.
Be not wise in your own conceits. That's the direct correlation with being proud, being a narcissist, like you said. Really, that's coming in the spirit of Satan.
Straight up.
Who is the physical counterpart of the actual self-proclaimed white people here today on earth, man. That's their whole mode of operandi. They don't think they can be counseled. They think they're above the Most High.
That's right.
So our people have come in that same spirit, man. Nobody can tell them nothing. They already got it. You know, when it's clearly you going off, clearly it's something that we're not doing as a people to line up. That's why we're in the predicament that we in.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Strong's G 1438. Hey out too.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna try to pronounce
that. That's all good.
But that's the word for conceit, too. And it says himself, herself, itself, themselves.
Yeah, selfies.
Yep.
Cause we're in a selfie culture right now, man. Me. It's all about me. Like that song Maya, it's all about me. That's really men, women, whoever, children, like everybody, even brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're not exempt for falling into that role in our own conceits, and that's the whole reason why it's important to seek counsel, because being in that spirit, man, is gonna lead to an error in a lot of ways, man. We have to depend on wise counsel. Like even like going back to the story between I think it was King Ahab and King Jehoshaphat. King Jehoshaphat, he seeked the counsel of the Most High, so that's why he was prepared to go and win in battle, as opposed to King Ahab. He didn't seek the counsel of the Lord. So it's just beautiful. It's only gonna be prudent to seek counsel in whatever you're doing, and then you have to know what counsel to seek.
Gone. That's it. You hit around the nail.
So
bro.
now I think the point's been made. We just want to do a quick impromptu show. We want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect.
Shalom.
Shalom.